And I'm digging that music. It is Burgundy Pants Day here on our Nats Extra set. I swear we did not plan this. Bo, let's play rounding third with you yet again, our former big league third base coach and manager. Bo, we'll run you through a few topics here. Give us the green light on this or the red light. Throw up the stop sign on these topics. We'll start with the first one, and this is a rule change this year in Major League Baseball. Only one trade deadline this year on July 31st. No more waiver trades throughout the month of August. So, do you like this? Do you not like it? There only being one trade deadline in baseball now.
This is a green light. It's a green light for me because I think when you look at the number of teams that are rebuilding in Major League Baseball, I think that the league office and the Players Association, they came together and put this rule into place, and I think it makes teams make a definitive decision. Are you going for it as far as the playoff go? I think it doesn't allow teams to manipulate rosters once you get past the July 31st deadline. So this is a green light for me. I like it. I think it's good for the game.
The Nationals, at times in the past, have utilized that waiver deadline either to sell off guys or to add guys. They added Matt Thornton. They added Kurt Suzuki with a waiver trade in the past. So July 31st, the hard deadline this year ends going forward. Topic number 2 for you, Bo. Teams having a set lineup construction that they stick with on a day-to-day basis. You throwing up the stop sign or are you waving us home on this one?
This is a red light for me. And I think, again, this is why you have a roster. I think you want to do everything that you can. I've always said this. The two biggest decisions that a manager is going to make is when he write out his lineup and when he take the starting pitcher out of the game. And when you write your lineup, you want to be able to optimize your ability to actually score runs. This is where you have an opportunity to use your bench players. You saw Davey Martinez yesterday. He was able to pop Parra into the lineup. He popped Adams into the lineup, and it paid big dividends. So you want to be able to utilize your bench and get those guys quality at-bats.
Yeah. How about what those guys did yesterday? And Gerardo Parra now hitting .545 with runners in scoring position this season. Bo, topic number 3 for you. Increased home runs in Major League Baseball. They're growing year to year. I think we had May being the most home runs in any month in Major League Baseball history. So we're seeing a lot of balls leave the yard. Do you like this going forward, the increase in home runs? You giving us the green light or the stop sign on this one?
You know, one of the toughest things as a third base coach is trying to decide whether or not you want to send a guy or whether or not you want to stop a guy.
Right.
Okay, this is going to be probably my first yellow light of the season. And the reason being is because I'm green for this because I like power.
Sure.
And I talk about it all the time.
You do talk about it all the time.
Power wins and power plays. But at the same time, I am a baseball lifer and I really enjoy the strategic part of the game that comes with the speed part of the game, the stolen bases, you know, the hitting and running, all of those integral parts that have been a part of the game for so long that are starting to fade away. I miss that part of the game. But again, it's a question that I've always been asked. I mean, I've been on many managerial interviews, and one of the questions that you always asked is, well, what type of manager are you? And my answer to that question has always been, show me a roster and I'll tell you how I'm going to manage that team. So this is one of those gray areas for me. It's green because I love power, but it's also red because I love the purity of the strategic part of the game.
I'm throwing up a hard stop sign on this one, Bo. If I'm coaching third on this topic, I hate that home runs are becoming so prevalent throughout the game. I love teams stringing together multiple hits in an inning and grinding out at-bats. We're seeing so many of the 3 true outcomes in Major League Baseball, home runs, walks, and strikeouts, fewer balls in play than ever before. I like more action on the field, fewer balls leaving the ballpark, fewer strikeouts and walks. That's my personal take on it. I want homers back down. Make those baseballs a little softer. They're like rocks now. I don't know what it is. I want fewer home runs. That's my take.
Well, no, and again, I appreciate that take because I am a baseball purist as well. I just look at the game and how the game has evolved, and you have to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position. I think a lot of these things come in cycles. Just like early on, you go back 20 years in baseball, you know, that speed was a real dynamic in the game. You fast forward today, and speed is not as prevalent of the game. It's more about power. It's more about power in the batter's box. It's more about power arms. So I think it comes and goes. So that's why I said this is the one gray area.
It's a yellow light.
It's a yellow light.
Bo's straddling the line here
But
on
the
this
base
topic.
runner, listen, as a third base coach, when you're undecided, you know what happens? The base runner makes up his mind.
You put the onus on him.
Well, no, he either goes and run through the stop sign,
Right.
or he stays and said, well, you didn't make a decision.